Okay, the kind of question we want to be able to do today is the following. Find the equation of the straight line which goes through the point 1, 4 and is parallel to the line y equals 3x plus 7. So on the surface that looks quite complicated, but it's not actually. There are several steps, but we just need to work through them methodically and we will be fine. Eventually we want to get to an answer which is going to be the following. Y equals mx plus c. Y and x are always left in the equation and they must be lowercase. So all we need to do is calculate the m and calculate the c. So we need to do one step for the m and one step for the c. I will show you first of all visually what this looks like, and it might help in the exam for you to do this to get an idea around the problem. So if I open Desmos, which is a graphing tool, and often this can be used to help you check your answers as well. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the question and Desmos side by side. So first of all, we're going to type y equals 3x plus 7. So this is the line. We could have worked out the points of the line using our calculator, but it's quicker just showing you using this. And we want it to go through the point 1, 4. So I can already see what the line's going to look like. And unfortunately, in this exam, you can't do this using the graphing aspect of the calculator, but I can show you now what kind of answer we're expecting. As it's parallel, it needs to make sure it runs next to this red line but never touches it. So the graph is going to look approximately like this. And we can tell that it's going to go through approximately 2, because when we draw the straight line, the line goes through 2 and the number it goes through on the y-axis represents c. So I'm going to write down here as a note to myself, I think that c should be approximately 2. Now, in the actual exam, you won't need to do the bit highlighted in red. It's not necessary, but I'm just using this to show you the kind of thing we're doing and why we're doing it. The first step we need to do is we need to calculate m. So I'm going to underline this. Now, m is the gradient of the line. Because this question is about parallel lines, m should be really easy. Parallel lines have the same gradient. So the gradient of the line we want to find is going to be the same as the original line, which is 3. Therefore, we've already worked out what m is. So it's not too hard at all. Now we need to calculate c. So this is just one way of doing the problem. There is another way of doing the problem, but I think this is the easiest way personally. So to calculate c, what we do is we take the equation y equals mx plus c. And substitute what we know. So I've already highlighted the m, which means we know the m. So we're going to replace the m with the following. We're going to replace m with 3. Now we still have 3 variables we don't know. y, x and c. As we're trying to calculate c, we should be able to calculate y and x first, or substitute them in first before we calculate c. And actually, if you have a look at this question, in this particular graph, you are going to have loads of points. So one particular point you'll have is 1, 4. Another particular point would be, say, approximately here. So if I use the pen, I can show you. It's going to be approximately this point, approximately this point, and this point, and this point. So basically, you just choose one of these points, but only one of these coordinates is actually given in the question. So we have to choose 1, 4. So this is an example of what y and x can be in this particular equation. So I'm going to replace y with the number 4, and I'm going to replace x with the number 1. And that should be quite obvious why we're doing that. So let's do the following. Y with the number 4 and x with the number 1. Remember, 3x is 3 lots of x. We're going to do 3 times 1. And all we need to do is solve for c. So we're going to say 4 is equal to 3 plus c. And then solve that equation. We could use that using the y equals bit of the calculator, but you should be able to see that c is equal to 1. Nice and easy. So now we've actually got our answer. We know n is going to be equal to 3. We worked that out in the first section here. And then c is equal to 1. Now I'm going to show you why it doesn't matter any point we pick. So if I actually went back to the graph here, and I drew our actual graph, we have now found y equals 3x plus 1. And let's go for the point 0, 1. So if we take the equation and we replace x with 0, so that's going to actually be 3 times 0,